Hey 8th graders, so today's assignment is the Metric Mania Part 1, and this is going to be the first day that we talk about unit conversions. From this point out, we're going to focus strictly on the metric system, so we're not going to talk about miles, inches, gallons, those kinds of things. It's pounds, degrees Fahrenheit. It's all going to be in the metric system, so centimeters, meters, millimeters, milliliters, degrees Celsius, grams, all those. Okay, so at this point, we're going to kind of start talking about how to convert from one unit to another. So if I said I went out and ran 10 kilometers, how many meters is that? This is going to be a little bit lengthier video, but you guys are going to get a lot of information, a lot of explanation on how to complete today's assignment. So it is important. So make sure you guys watch through to the end. Your learning targets for today, I can convert between one unit to another using the King-Henry method. So I'm going to explain that to you. And I can properly identify and measure volume, mass, length, and temperature in SI units. So we're going to start talking a little bit about that as well. Okay, first thing you guys are going to do is you're going to go to slide 2. You're going to open up this video. Obviously, you're going to need to pause the main video that I'm talking on right now. Watch this video. It's going to help walk you through setting up your notebook. And then you guys will add the notes on slides 3, 4, and 5. So go ahead, pause this video, watch the video on slide 2, and add the notes on slide 3, 4, and 5. All right, so you guys should have set up your notebook. This is the same notebook that you're going to be using all year. I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looks like. I on accident just exited out of it. I didn't mean to do that. History. There we go. So you guys should have just made one notebook, and that's going to be the only notebook you make for the whole year. You're going to use this same notebook for every unit that we do from here on out. So if I go ahead and open up my 8th grade physical science OneNote, it's going to take me right into this first unit. So each unit is one of our sections here, and our first section is the metric system. It's going to be slow for me. Okay, and I should have 2 pages, unit conversions and measurements. So you guys can see that these are the notes that you guys should have added today. I am going to keep part of this open because we are going to kind of use it later when I'm showing you guys how to work this. Okay, all right. So again, you guys should have added these notes on 3, 4, and 5. All right, I'm going to go ahead and kind of skip to the story of King Henry. So you guys can right-click this link. And then I'm going to have you guys just take a second to read through this story. So pause my video, read through this little story. I know it's super cheesy, but you guys will kind of see where I'm coming from with the King Henry thing. Again, it's talking about the metric system and how we arrange the numbers in the metric system. And really, guys, this is a good basis to understand why the metric system is so much easier than the imperial system, because if we're looking at converting between units in the metric system, it's just a matter of multiplying and dividing by 10, which is basically just moving a decimal, which I'm going to show you guys here in a second. Versus imperial system, it's a whole lot more complicated math when you've got, all right, 1 mile is 5,280 feet, and in each feet there's 12 inches, and so on and so forth. It's just a lot more complicated math, more or less easier when you're just multiplying or dividing by 10. Okay, so again, pause this video, read through the story of King Henry, and then when you're done, come on back to the main assignment and back to this video. All right, so kind of a cheesy story, I know. I apologize for that, but I'm not going to read through it with you guys because I want you guys to have time to watch the rest of this video and get some examples in. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and look at some of these examples. Okay, these examples are going to be some of the examples that I'm going to show you guys using this King Henry system. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and do the little examples down here. I'm going to insert a little blank slide. Okay, so insert new slide, and I'm just going to have that be blank. So that's going to be my slide that I use to show you guys how to do these problems. Okay, all right, so the first example I'm going to give you guys is 8.6 kilometers is how many meters. So I'm going to go ahead and draw on here. The first number I give you guys is your given. Oops. Okay, in this case I'm giving you guys 8.6 meters, or excuse me, kilometers. And I'm asking you guys to convert it to meters. So I'm asking you how many meters is that. So this is going to be called our target. So each one of these problems will have a given, and it'll have a target that you guys are trying to find. Oops, my lights just went out, sorry. Okay, all right, so what you guys are going to do, and this is kind of like a board game, you guys are going to go onto this little cheat sheet, and this cheat sheet will be available to you guys on like the worksheet you do today, the quiz. Anytime you guys need it, it should be available to you guys. Just like when you play a board game, you have a token. In this case, we're going to assume our token is our little decimal here. And we're going to be moving that decimal. But we need to figure out how many places we need to move it and in what direction. Okay, so we're going to go to this little cheat sheet here, and we're going to look at our given. Our given is kilometers. We have 8.6 kilometers, and it's asking us to find how many meters that is. Meters, liters, and grams are all of our base unit, or as you read in this story, our king's unit, because the king's the center of the universe. So there's the center right there, meters, liters, and grams, which again are our base units. Okay, so we're starting here, and we want to go here. So just like in a board game, you guys would have your token on this space, and then you guys don't ever count the space that you're starting on. You're going to move it 1, 2, 3 spaces to the right to get to your target. Okay, just like you moved your token on this little imaginary game board, you're going to go here and move our token or our decimal 3 spaces to the right. So if we have 8.6, we're going to move that 1, 2, 3 spaces to the right. Now our token is here, or our decimal is here, and we get rid of it up there. We don't need it there anymore. In these 2 blank spaces, we're going to add zeros. So our final answer is going to be 8,600 meters. Okay, so that would be how many meters we would have. That's one example. Let's go ahead and do just a couple more examples so you guys can see how to work them. Sorry, it's kind of a pain into that to erase. All right. For my next one, my target, or excuse me, my given is going to be, let's see here, I'm going to kind of skip and do just a couple examples. Let's do 27.9 kilograms is how many milligrams? So 27.9 kilograms is how many milligrams? So we're going to be doing a little bit of a bigger conversion here. So again, we're going to go to our little cheat sheet. Let me erase all my marks. We're going to start with our given, which is kilograms, and we want to go all the way to our target, which is milligrams. So let's move our token from here to here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We move this 6 spaces to the right. So we're going to do the same thing here. We've got 27.9. We're going to move our decimal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces. Replace our token. Our token's now here. Our token is no longer here. And then we're going to fill in our zeros. Okay, so our new number now is going to be 27,900,000 milligrams. So 27.9 kilograms is equal to 27,900,000 kilograms. Okay, I'm going to do one more example because I want you guys to kind of see placement of decimals if it's not given to you guys in the original number. So we're going to do this last one here. Let's see, I want to do this one here. So 56,237, 56,237, and that's going to be milligrams to kilograms. So if we have that many milligrams, how many kilograms is that? Okay, so we're going to be working opposite on this one. So here's the trick for this one is you guys don't have a decimal that's available to you guys right here. Anytime you do not see a decimal in the number, the decimal's always at the end. So we have our decimal down here after the 7 at the very end. So again, anytime you don't have a decimal directly in the middle of your number or at the beginning of number, your decimal is always at the end written there. Okay, so we're going to go here. We're going to look at our given. Our given is milligrams. We're trying to get to kilograms. So let's see how many spaces we're going to have to move our token. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one we're going to go to the left. The last 2 we went to the right, but this one's going to the left to get to our target. This is going to be a target for you guys. That's kind of a weird target, but that's where we're going. Okay, so 6 to the left. So our decimal's here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Replace our token. Our token is now here. It's no longer at the end. Get rid of our token here. And then we're going to fill in this 1 extra space with a 0. So our final number is going to be 0.562 237 kilograms. So that's a pretty small number. So if we have a lot of milligrams, we're only going to have a small amount for our kilograms. So that's kind of how you guys use the King Henry thing. It's a really nice math trick. You don't even need a calculator. So keep that in mind. All you guys need is that little King Henry sheet. And realistically, if you guys can remember the little analogy that you heard in the story, the King Henry died unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk. Again, it's right here. King Henry died unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk. You guys could do this even if you don't have the King Henry sheet in front of you. You guys can just write KHDUDCM and remember it, hopefully. Okay, so those are just some examples. If you guys still need some more help or want to do some more examples, feel free to come and get some more help with me in class. I'm going to show you guys one example here in the form today. So your guys' worksheet. So there's nothing you guys actually need to do in this assignment. Your assignment is on slide 7 and there's a link to it. So I'm going to go ahead and click back on my cursor, open up this assignment. Okay, and you have two parts to this assignment. Your first part, you're going to be using this first set of notes that you guys posted in your OneNote today to help you guys figure out the correct way to write the abbreviations for these different metric units. Okay, so you guys can see here's length in meters, lowercase m, volume in liters, capital L, or you guys might see cubic centimeters. Mostly it'll be capital L for liters though. Mass in grams, lowercase g, temperature in degrees Celsius, or you might even see kelvins. Okay, you guys will also see all the abbreviations down here: kilo, hecta, deca, deci, centa, milli, micro, and nana. Okay, so if you look, it's going to ask you guys what's the proper abbreviation for kilograms. So we'd go find kilo up here. Kilo is a baby K, and gram is a baby G. So your answer would be baby K, baby G. Okay, so you're going to go through, I have to mark something on each of these, otherwise it won't let me show you guys the next part, so I'm just going to mark the last answer. It doesn't mean they're right by any means, so make sure you guys are using those notes that I provided to you on the top of this page to help you guys get the correct answers. Okay, moving on to part 2, here's your guys' King Henry thing, so you guys will use that. King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. Your first question is 2,000 milligrams is how many grams? So I'm just going to go back in here and do this right at the bottom. We have 2,000 milligrams. And we're trying to find grams. Okay, so we're going to go to our little King Henry sheet. Here's our milligrams. We're going to be trying to go to grams right here. Here's my grams as my base unit. So we're going to move our token 1, 2, 3 to the left. So on my little sheet here, remember if we don't see a decimal in the number, it's at the very end. So after this last 0. And then we're going to move that decimal 1, 2, 3 to the left, and then we're going to redraw our decimal here, get rid of our other decimal, and we're left with 2.000. When you guys type your answer in this box, keep it as simple. So 2 works just fine. You don't need the decimal with those zeros. Okay, if the decimal comes in front, you do need that. If it comes in the middle of a couple numbers, you do need that decimal. But if it's just at the end and you have a bunch of zeros, you don't need that decimal. Okay. When you guys type your numbers in here, though, you guys could type it as either 2.0. You guys could type it as 2, or even if you did 2.000, it should count all 3 of those, correct? But it will mark it wrong if you label your unit. I know that's kind of counterproductive to what most teachers tell you guys. They're always like, label your stuff. Okay, for this worksheet only, just because it was complicated to make an answer key that had all the different variations of decimals and zeros and the labeling of the units, it would have been a really complicated answer key, and this worksheet will grade automatically for you guys and tell you guys immediately once you submit it how well you did. Okay, so make sure you do not label. If you label, it will count it wrong. If you guys happen to do a really great job on this, but you missed it all because of the labels, just let me know and I can go in and fix it. But just to save the time for both of us, don't label. Okay, so 2 would be good enough, and then I would go on to the next one. Okay, so again, make sure you guys use this. If you need to, use a piece of scratch paper so you guys can kind of write this. Some people learn differently. I have to visualize it. I have to write it down. Okay, so I want you guys to do the same if that's how your brain works. If you guys can just visualize it, great. Okay, good for you guys. It doesn't mean that someone's smarter than anyone else. It's just how your brain works. Okay, so go ahead, use the King Henry thing to finish these up. Again, remember not to label. Keep your numbers as simple as possible. And then when you're done, go ahead and submit this assignment. You guys will get some immediate feedback. You guys can go back to this PowerPoint And you guys can turn in this PowerPoint. There was nothing you guys needed to do in here for a grade. It is all in that link that I just showed you guys on form from slide 7. Okay, so make sure you guys submit it in this form. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. I hope you guys are having a great day. Bye.